Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Always Out of Market podcast for week 11 NFL games. We're still just ignorant as ever and don't know much, but we're here to give you some hot takes and shit takes one after the other. Who knows who's going to have the best takes this week? We don't. Future ourselves do, but we don't. Today we have a smaller crew. We're missing our Big Daddy Steven, but we got me, Ryan, as usual, old JC Jason. It's Jesus Christ Jason, what we call him. And then old Mr. Tarwater himself, Tyler.
Woo.
Oh, yeah. Everybody is out with different things. We're not sure about Gavin, but Matthew's not
Steven has
feeling
the
well.
clap.
Steven has the clap.
Mm-hmm.
So, very small crew, but that's okay because we can get through this episode a little bit quicker and everybody can go do what they need to for the day and just enjoy their Saturday.
I got errands to run.
We'll start off with news. There's not a whole lot that happened this week. Mainly just injuries. Except for the Bills fired their offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, because Josh Allen throws a lot of interceptions.
He's got to stop calling those plays. That's what cost him his job. He told Josh Allen to throw picks and to fumble the ball.
Yep.
It's all his fault.
Yeah. He was just the unlucky one they decided to get rid of after they lost on Monday. It's not his fault. It's a player thing that needs to be figured out. And then for injuries, Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson is having season-ending surgery on a broken bone in his throwing shoulder. So down goes one quarterback, and immediately after, down goes another quarterback with the Bengals, Joe Burrow, out for the rest of the season with a torn ligament in his hand or wrist. I don't know if they've actually said what it is yet, but he hurt it Thursday night, and supposedly he really hurt it on Thursday night. There is an investigation going on with the NFL because they didn't disclose that he had an injured hand or wrist because he was seen wearing some sort of brace on Wednesday, but he was never on the injury report. So we'll see.
He could have got injured last week.
Yeah, we'll see if anything comes out of it. I doubt it, but you know.
Yeah, it's a good day for the Steelers, I gotta say. And that both the Browns and the Bengals lost their starting QB, and Lamar also went down for briefly. He was out. I mean, he's not like he came back in, but he went out briefly as well. So it was not a good day for AFC North quarterbacks, except for Kenny Pickett still going strong.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Ravens.
To add insult to injury, the Ravens lost Mark Andrews for the rest of the season. He had a cracked fibula and a torn ankle ligament. The same guy hurt 3 people in the game on Thursday night. Logan Wilson.
Really?
Logan Wilson hurt Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson,
and Joe Burrow?
No, not Joe Burrow. He hurt somebody else, though. I don't remember who it was that went out for a little bit. But he needs
to be investigated.
He hurt 3 people in one game.
Jesus.
I wonder who got the over on that.
Yeah. I forgot that Mark Andrews is out now, too. So, yeah, the Steelers are looking fucking real pretty on the AFC North.
Even better for the Steelers, I believe they played the Bengals and the Browns back-to-back weeks.
Yep. The AFC North is looking, I mean, it was like the most dominant fucking division easily before this week, and then all this shit just happened. It might be like the downfall of the AFC North, it looks like.
The Steelers are going to wind up sneaking into a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm. I think they for sure have it now. There's a guarantee they were already doing good. The fact that, once again, like it just reiterates my. I mean, he obviously didn't cause the injuries, but Mike Tomlin being fucking one of the goated coaches, he's about to fucking sneak a playoff, potentially, probably another positive record. I would, assume, and then a playoff fucking appearance with this fucking Steelers team. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it comes down to their defense is pretty good, and their offense seems to score when they absolutely have to.
Yep. I said
And
they got T.J. Watt, who's a great player. Obviously, he's like their standout player easily. But
yeah, it's crazy. I don't even know what to say about them at this point, just because there's so much, uh, like there's so little talent on their team.
yeah, it's weird. I am previous seasons never been a big Steelers fan. I'm starting to become a little bit of a Steelers fan this season. I gotta say, like
It's
I'm rooting for them. I gotta say,
that's so weird because you can't name more than like 3 players on their team, can you?
Kenny Pickett, T.J. Watt, and Mike Tomlin.
He's not a player. That doesn't
George
count.
Pickens.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
George Pickens.
Oh, Deontay Johnson. I have him on my.
So you can name 4 players.
Yeah. Well, I know Tyler named one of them. I didn't know fucking
Okay,
whatever he just said.
so combined,
I can
I can name one other one, which is Najee Harris. So we're up to
Oh, there we
5.
go. Yeah, I forgot
Minka
about Najee.
Fitzpatrick.
Minka Fitzpatrick. That makes 6. We're getting there. I'll
Yeah.
never be able to name their linemen on either side of the ball. So we're
I
not
bet
going
one
to
of
name
them's
all of
last
them.
name is Jones.
I mean, maybe I'm not going to.
I'm gonna Google their linemen while you move on to the next thing, but
That's it for news. Really, there just wasn't a whole lot that happened. But we can go over to talk about fantasy a little bit.
oh
this
shit,
week-
they got. Sorry, I distracted, but they got Montravius Adams on the Steelers. He's fucking he's an Auburn player. He's a defensive tackle.
Oh, there you go. Is
There
he
you
a
go, so I-
starter?
I don't know. Is he a starter? Just like he's the first one of this. I think he's just first alphabetically. He's got
Okay.
5 solo tackles and 1 forced fumble. So
I would hope he's not a starter with those stats.
he's gotten a few tackles in like almost every game. Yeah, I don't know how many. Yeah, no, he's not a starter.
Okay, I was gonna say with you said 5 tackles.
No, he's got more than that. Oh,
Okay.
20. Yeah, that's just his 5 solo tackles.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope if he is a starter, he'd have more than 5 solo tackles.
Yeah, I don't understand. This is weird. He hasn't played in the last 2. I don't know. We can talk going on about Montravius Adams. We're damn though. Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about fantasy a little bit. This week this kind of works out. We don't really have to talk about one of the games because neither of the people are here. But the first game up is Ryan versus myself.
We Jason, we can only see the PowerPoint right now. I don't know if it's recording the PowerPoint or the.
It's recording the fantasy football.
Perfect. That's
but-
fine. As long as it's recording it, that's good. I can just look it up on my phone, but
Okay. But yeah, it's Ryan versus myself this week. I've had 2 players already play on Thursday night, which were Joe Mixon and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase did not do a whole lot. He had 2 catches, but one of them was a touchdown at least. So he was able to get me 9 points at least. Joe Mixon kind of carried the load with 21 points for me.
Got a solid 30 points.
Yeah, no, I'm not too worried about Jamar Chase's performance since Joe Mixon, he went decently over his projected, so I'm not super worried about it. I am always worried when I play Ryan though because of his team's potential to just go off randomly with like Travis Etienne or Amon-Ra St. Brown and last week TJ Hawkinson had 30 points. So
Rashad White's been doing really well recently too.
yeah, I think
He's now the 10th ranked running back.
I was about to say I think he's in the top 10. He is. So
He's number 10. Yeah, I and I've got kind of like at a iffy thing here, but Justin Jefferson is like there's been rumors he might come back on the field this week, but I don't think I'd trust it enough to start him over Amon-Ra or Thielen right now. I mean, Thielen would obviously be the person I would bench instead of him. As soon as Justin Jefferson actually is at full snaps, Thielen's bench is getting benched and he's going back in. But
yeah, I mean they have Justin Jefferson projected to get points this week, which was
yeah, no, but I don't.
different
I
than
might
last
wait.
week.
I might make like a last second decision to switch out Thielen and put Jefferson in, but IDK man.
Yeah, it's a risk if you do.
Yeah, I don't know. My team. I think you're due a win against me because I've beat you the past 2 matchups, and you're the only person I've never lost to. So
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that that's the case. So,
Yeah.
Which this week you were sort of hurt by by buys with the Saints being off, and if you wanted to play Bijan, he's off. Which
honestly, that's kind of a blessing because I was like, I don't know if I should start Bijan or not, and so that I'm by, I don't have to worry about it because my running back core is pretty good right now. It's pretty stacked. So
yeah, I mean, you've got ETN, Rashad White, and Kenneth Walker
Mhm.
on your starting lineup.
and I still have Bijan on the bench, so it's like I've got 4 good running backs in my team.
Yeah, I wish that the Saints weren't off because I could put Kamara in. Which I mean, I have David Montgomery in his place, so hopefully,
Well, unless Jameer Gibbs is stealing touches from him.
I mean, it is possible, but I didn't really have much of a choice. It's either James Cook, who is a fumble machine apparently after last week, or
Well, those plays won't be called anymore, Jason. So
well, we'll see about that. But yeah, that's what's going on in our game, and then we've got number 1 versus number 6 here in the standings with Tyler and Gavin, and Tyler is now projected to beat Gavin, which would be the ultimate upset.
They both had a out player.
Yeah, they both had an injured player.
By the way, just for the percentage currently, and for mine and Jason's game, Jason has a 51% chance to win, and for this game, Tyler has a 51% chance to win.
Yeah,
I mean, the very first week, Tyler beat Gavin.
Yeah,
that's one of Tyler's 2 wins, right? Or is it 3 wins?
Yeah, I got close to beating Gavin the second time too.
Yeah, he's only got 2 wins. He's 2-8.
He's beat Gavin and he's beat me, who are the people who have the most points for in the league.
Yeah, and like I said, they both had a player who got injured on Thursday night, which Tyler had Joe Burrow, who had 8.74 points, and Gavin had Mark Andrews, who only had 4.3, which is going to really hurt him in the end, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I at least got 8 points from Joe Burrow.
I am still right now wondering why he didn't start Sam Laporta over Mark Andrews. And he's really going to regret not doing that at this point because I'm willing to bet Laporta will get more than 4.3 points on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just bless up to starting Gus Edwards. It was a real call for me.
Yeah.
The
Ravens RB core has been fucking great recently.
Honestly, I'm still giving the edge to Tyler because of the defense and kicker being up against Chicago, and Justin Fields is supposed to be back, so we'll see how they do with him coming back.
I have never heard of Trey McBride. Zach Ertz out.
Yeah, I think he's on IR, isn't he?
Oh, okay.
Or Tyler might know, or not. I don't know.
I just know that he was projected to get a bunch of points.
Yeah, I mean he's projected 11.6, which would not be bad for a tight end.
I mean, yeah, he's if the trend for the past 4 games happens, you're going to get 5 points. Because the past 4 games, he's gotten 5.9, then 25.5, then 5.2, then 21.1. So if that trend continues, you're getting 5. But
which they have Kyler Murray back. He's gonna play again this week. So maybe he'll look at his tight end a little bit more going forward. I see you've also picked up Josh Dobbs, but obviously didn't start him this week.
No, but I have someone I don't have to worry. I can just drop Joe Burrow next week. So
the astronaut.
Yep. So I mean, Gavin's gonna wind up dropping Mark Andrews, I would imagine. Tyler's gonna drop Joe Burrow. I think at this point, pretty much everybody has been struck by a season-ending injury. In our league.
Who was yours, Jason?
Nick Chubb.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I had Justin Jefferson. Well, actually, I haven't had a season-ending injury. I've just had Justin Jefferson, who was out for 6 weeks.
Well, that still hurts a lot because that was your first.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean it was the number 1 overall pick, so that was a bad. You had that. I've had that. You had Nick Chubb. Tyler's had Joe Burrow now. Gavin's got Mark Andrews, and A-Chain. He would have. Steven got what's his face? Kyron Williams. He was using a lot.
Yeah, and we can move on to the next game, which is Matthew versus Steven. We don't have to talk about it a whole lot.
I don't think Matthew's had an injury bug, has he?
I think at some point he had somebody get injured, but okay. I might be remembering wrong.
I think Kelsey was out for 2 games, but
he was out for a couple of games, but that's not a long-term thing like what everybody else has had to deal with. Yeah, both of them had players play. Matthew had Lamar, who got almost 24
A lot of
points, which is pretty good. And then Steven had the Ravens defense and Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker got 11 points, which is pretty good. The Ravens defense got above what they were projected. So it's got Steven projected to win by just under 3 points. I don't know what the percentage looks like in that game. Probably the same as everybody else's.
Yeah, it's 51-49.
Yeah, so I don't know who to give the edge to in this one because the 49ers looked way better last week when they had Deebo Samuel back, and Matthew's got him starting this week. But then Steven's team once again has gone, now that they're back from bye, has gone back to relying on the Eagles.
And he's got some 49ers.
And he's got a couple 49ers, and he had a couple Ravens. But, I mean, ultimately, it comes down to how the Eagles do because he's got 3 players off of their team. At one from quarterback, one from running back, one from wide receiver. So, I'm going to give the edge to Steven. Actually, no. I'm giving the edge to Matthew because the Eagles play the Chiefs this week, and the Chiefs defense is not terrible. So, I'm actually going to give the edge to Matthew because I
must say Matthew as well.
I think the Chiefs are going to wind up slowing the Eagles down a decent bit. Which, I mean, I guess could affect Matthew because he has Jake Elliott. But, that's not as big of a deal as 3 other
Say
players.
that. It could come down to the kickers.
I mean, it could, but when it comes to fantasy, I don't think it's going to play that big of a difference or play that big of a role. Oh, wow. Matthew has nobody on bye on his entire team.
So he has no excuse if he loses.
Yeah.
He's also got no major injuries and nobody on bye. Matthew has no excuse to if he loses.
He's also starting the 49ers defense who is projected less than the Browns defense.
What are the matchups?
I think the Browns play the Steelers.
Yeah, and the 49ers play the Bucks.
I think that's a better matchup, 49ers on Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is.
But the Browns are a great defense, of course. One of the best in the league, if not the best in the league right now.
They are the best by yards at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for fantasy. We can
go into some.
We can look at the standings real quick. It's a 3-way tie for first now between Gavin, myself, and Matthew.
And me and Steven are only 1 game behind.
And Ryan and Steven are 1 game behind, and then Tyler 4 games behind. Still has a chance to make the playoffs. He has 1% chance to make the playoffs. And then right now it has Steven with a higher probability to get the last spot at 70%, and then Ryan at 66%. Mm-hmm. And I have the best chance to make the playoffs now, apparently, at 91%. And then, I mean, the points for became a lot closer this week because my team had 193 points last week. So I'm only 20 points behind Ryan for most points for. And Gavin,
my crown, though.
Gavin has the most points against now after going against me last week. I'm glad that my team decided to go off last week against the person that we've been trying to take down all season.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to root for the downfall of either Steven or Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, Tyler. It sucks, but unless me and Steven lose out, you're pretty much guaranteed that last place punishment position, I think.
Yeah, what has to happen is one of you has to lose out and Tyler has to win out for him to pass you.
Pretty sure, so.
Because there's only 4 weeks left, including this week, so, and he's 3 games behind y'all. So, I mean, technically, Tyler could still finish first place.
I mean, that's true.
Technically, he could still finish first place. Now,
but the thing is points 4 is what decides the tiebreaker. So you have to you're very far behind in points 4 right now.
He would have to outscore you. I guess if we're going based on 3 people who are tied for first, he'd have to outscore Gavin by almost 300 points.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to pass me, you have to get either a better record than me or tie with me and then get 300. Well, almost 300 more points over what I get in the next 4 games. So, good luck, Tyler.
Damn, Tyler has made 29 moves in the waiver wire this year, and then I've made 20. Yeah.
This is a crazy close race though right now
Yeah.
For the top 5.
It very quickly went from a runaway to everybody is close together.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gavin's lost 2 in a row, so
Yeah.
he was 6-2 at one point. Now he's 6-4.
Because I beat him and then you beat him.
Yep, and now Tyler's projected to beat him. So
Tyler, you need to beat him too.
that would send him tumbling in the standings, especially if I win, or actually, if any of the 3 people below him win and he loses, he's going to wind up dropping to like 4th.
Comeback season.
I'd say, well, I mean, if you win, I don't win, so he wouldn't drop below me.
That's true. I forgot we're playing against each other this week.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I think if I win, I would go ahead of him. Unless he gets more points for. I mean,
Yeah,
he's only like 10 below me.
He's 8.4 behind.
Below you, yeah.
So he'd have to barely outscore you to stay ahead.
Because I know I'm thinking it goes by points for as the next breaker after like record. But if it's just individual like record against that person, I know me and Gavin are 1-1 right now. I think so with each other.
Yeah, if you guys manage to tie on points for, that would be impressive.
Pretty crazy.
So you have the exact same amount of points for.
We ready to move on to picks?
I am if you guys are.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so.
Because I am hungry.
Let me throw this into slideshow mode.
Hey, Jason, look, PowerPoint. I like the name of this one.
Yeah.
Did you name it or did Steven name it?
Steven named this one.
Nice.
What's the name of it?
Hey, Jason, look, PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Let me.
Are you able to go to like presentation mode?
I have to switch my stuff around real quick so that I can see OBS and see the slideshow at the same time. So, all right. Are you guys able to see the? Actually, let me.
Yes, again, you go full screen on it.
I gotta change windows. Boom.
There we go.
All right. So yeah, we have.
Very close week this week in picks.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
It's a double comeback season.
So are we good to?
Yeah. All right. So first things first, we'll look at our standings from this past week. Gavin and Tyler finished tied for first. They got 10 out of 14 right over 70%. And then a three-way tie for what would be third between Steven, Matthew, and Ryan, who got one less than them at 9. And then I was by myself at the bottom, which I think has only ever happened one other time this year. I got 8 out of 14, so not the best week for me, but that's okay. The Broncos won, so all is forgiven.
Yep. You know what's crazy is I still hold that reign of being the least knowledgeable about football out of the group, and I don't think I've actually gotten to the bottom in a week yet.
You've had a pretty solid season so far.
Yeah.
So I don't think you've been at the bottom by yourself either.
The only time I did bad was when everybody did bad. So.
Yeah, that was such a weird week of football though. That I mean, who would have known?
And Matthew once again did so much worse than me that it was fine. It made me look better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a very close race. Only two games between first and last. So not much standing changes this week. Do we have a standings change slide?
Yes, it's
okay.
After
Coming up.
the you were right, we were wrong slides. So Matthew went by himself last week and picked the Texans. They won off of a field goal as time expired. So
I like the idea of Matthew actually like being the commissioner and presenting CJ Stroud with his jersey while wearing just a beach sun hat, chilling with a suit and a beach sun hat and sunglasses.
He can rock it, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it works. It works.
Yeah. I mean, Matthew has hopped on that CJ Stroud train, and it is a good train to hop on, honestly.
Yeah, I mean he has definitely shown up as a high caliber quarterback right out of the gate. I'm very impressed with what he's done this year.
Easily the best quarterback of this draft class.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Especially considering he wasn't the first overall pick, and the first overall pick was another quarterback who is on a team with 1 win, and the Texans are currently in a playoff spot.
Yep.
So, but we also have Gavin with you were right, we were wrong, because he picked the Browns to beat the Ravens last week, and I don't think anybody was happy about this game because no one likes the Browns. I'm pretty sure even Gavin probably wasn't happy about getting it right because no one likes the Browns. And we just cursed the Ravens because we were talking about how good they were last week, and then they go and lose to the Browns.
They beat the Bengals though, so
yeah, they did. They're back to their winning ways. So
I'm fine with, this is a divisional matchup. So it's like once again the AFC North, up until the injuries this past week, were is stacked as fuck. So
yeah,
I never like hold it like that much against a team for losing in a divisional matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. Then we have our overall standings. The only change was I dropped down to third on my own.
That's it. Get my spot just to myself again.
Yeah, so Gavin holds the lead just barely by 3 games. I mean,
once again, me, Steven, and Jason are just fucking like butt buddies hanging out in the middle.
Right there, vying for first place. And Tyler has started to rebound slightly.
You're catching back up a little bit.
He was over 20 games behind at one point. He's now 19 games behind. He didn't make up any ground this week on Gavin because they tied. But with the way that everybody picked this week, there could be a major shakeup in the standings. So
more than likely, I mean, knock on wood, I'd say at least 3 of us will be over 100 after this week. Unless we have another week like we did that one week where we all got like 3 or 4 right.
I hope Gavin's not over 100.
That'd be amazing if Gavin gets 0 right this week. All I gotta do is get 4 right. You gotta get 5 right. Steven has to get 6 right.
Yeah, and we have a lot, or not a lot. We have 3.
And I gotta get 20 right.
We've got 3 more games this week than normal because we're going to be covering the Thanksgiving games and the Black Friday game.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think technically Tyler could get up to like 98 if he got every game right.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
I mean, imagine. That'd be crazy.
Tyler is making a resurgence. I'm just hoping I'm so hoping I can stay on top of Tyler. I'm 16 games ahead. That's all I'm going for. Obviously, I want to get in the top 3. I want a podium finish is my goal for the season.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a good goal, honestly.
I've been fucking just clasping at Gavin's ass for the past like 6 weeks. I've been in second for the past like 6 weeks, and I just haven't fucking been able to catch. Yeah. Like you and Steven have tied with me both. I think both a couple times, but you've never passed me, and so I've just been sitting there.
Also,
Gavin is just unattainable.
The standings of us and our picks are also accurate to how good our teams are in the NFL this year. The higher up you go, the better the teams are.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, Matthew has climbed back above 50%, just barely.
Hey,
so
a round of applause for Matthew.
It's you know, the battle for first and fifth, both are heating up. But if you guys are ready, we can get into this week's set of games.
Yeah.
So we have the Steelers at the Browns, and it's a 3-3 split. Myself, Matthew, and Gavin went with the Steelers. Steven, Ryan, and Tyler went with the Browns. Steven texted me earlier, and he was like, I'm going to stick with the Browns because I like the 3-3 split. And I was like, I mean, I don't blame you because the Browns defense is so good they could probably win any game for their team.
Who are the Browns starting at QB this week? Is it going to be P.J. Walker or is it going to be somebody else?
Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Has he ever played before in the NFL?
He looked good in the preseason.
I think he's played some in the regular season too because of
Why
Deshaun
aren't they
Watson's
doing
injury.
PJ Walker?
Because I guess he's not as good as Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
I don't know. I'm very tempted to switch now, but the thing I think I'm going to stick with Browns. I know hyping up the Steelers, saying they're going to win their division, but I think at home Browns defense, it's hard to stop when there's like not a fucking person on the. I mean, they got slow ass Najee Harris, they got Deontay Johnson. I don't know. I mean, Najee has been better recently. I think the Browns still got it because I mean Deshaun is gone, but Deshaun wasn't that fucking good of a quarterback in the first place. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, I could see this game going either way, which is why I'm not surprised it's a 3-3 split.
I kind of like 3-3 split too, but I'm worried with you and Gavin being on the left side because you're one behind me and Gavin trying to catch up with. But
Yeah,
could be an opportunity for me to take it. And
Yeah.
Tyler has been doing well this past.
He's been doing well for about a
recently, so.
month now.
Yeah.
So
I will say it does make me feel better to be on Tyler's side and not Matthew's side.
yeah, Matthew's been on a downward spiral.
He's been on a poop streak for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about this game. It's a divisional game, and anything can happen in division games.
Mm.
I'm not cheering for either of these teams, honestly. So
I'm going for the Steelers easily.
well, I mean, I'm gonna go for the Steelers, but I'm not gonna be actively paying attention to this game. I don't think.
Oh no, me neither.
So I don't even have anybody playing in fantasy on either of these teams. So we can go.
I don't think I got anybody. So
The
Oh, yeah,
next
Oh,
so
goodness.
over him hat.
So you have the Raiders at the Dolphins, and Matthew went on his own with the Raiders.
do they have a winning record?
They're
They have a
they're
50% record.
Yeah, they're 5-5. So
So we're in uncharted territory here with the Dolphins.
yeah, and honestly, I almost picked the Raiders as well because of their record, and I'm like, no, the Dolphins might struggle. Antonio Pierce has been great for the Raiders since he took over as interim head coach. But I think that miracle run of 2-0 he's on is going to come to an end here.
Also, to be fair, they didn't play the best competition in those two games. So
No. This is their first real challenge with a new interim head coach.
Yeah, I was going to say they didn't
they played
play,
the Jets and the Giants.
They didn't play great teams, but I think if Josh McDaniels was still their head coach when they played the Jets, they lose that game.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I like the Dolphins for this as well. I'm still, this is the game that matters to me the most, honestly, besides the Seahawks game, because if I get this right, I'm still on that streak of never getting a Dolphins game wrong.
oh yeah.
So, I'm the only one in our podcast who has a team that they haven't gotten wrong yet, and it's Dolphins. So,
You went back and watched.
I went. Steven gave me the spreadsheet to check, and I checked to see if it was 2 weeks ago, I think, or last week. I checked to see who of us, if there's anybody who hasn't gotten a team wrong, and at that point, it was me with the Dolphins and Steven with the Panthers. But then he immediately got the next Panthers game wrong. So it's now just me with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think you'll keep that streak up. This is a game that is going to just drop Matthew even further behind everybody else.
Or it'll be a very crispy, you were right, we were wrong.
Yeah, a very thankful.
Thankful. There we go. Perfect.
The next game we have will not drop or move anybody up against anybody else whatsoever because it's a sweep of the Bears and the Lions.
So I guess it's with a Thanksgiving theme because it's a Thanksgiving bear.
Yeah,
I like it.
You're catching on now. Just wait till we get to the Thanksgiving Day games.
Oh, I'm excited. I bet this is a very fucking easy game to call.
Yeah, I mean the Bears are getting Justin Fields back, but they don't look good with him playing anyway. So
The only thing is
one of the hottest teams in the league. I don't think it'll be close.
Yeah. The only thing is it is a division matchup. So
yeah, I mean there is the potential for an upset because of it being a divisional matchup, but the Dolphins they're so hot.
You mean the Lions?
Or yeah.
Jason just wanted to go back to the Dolphins. He finds Dolphins very attractive.
Yeah.
So.
Lions. The Lions are very hot right now.
And also, it's the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, it's also the Bears. I feel like we don't have to talk about that game for a very long. The next one,
Ooh.
a 3-3 split on the Titans versus the Jaguars. I am surprised that it's a split. I thought it would be 4-2 between, Steven and Tyler going with the Titans, obviously, but Gavin went with the Titans.
The Jaguars did just receive that beat down from the 49ers. So.
They did.
Yeah, but that was 49ers. Ignore the Titans.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they can still beat the Pats.
So I had to go with the Jaguars bouncing back after getting just fucked last week.
And also, it's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's not a home game for the Titans. They still haven't won an away game this year. They haven't won an away game in over a year at this point. So, I mean, I don't know. The Titans have a lot of things to figure out to get back.
I forgot we have the whole trend of the Titans haven't won an away game. Yeah, I just honestly just continuously pick with that, and you'd have gotten every Titans game right so far this year.
Yeah, I picked the Titans to win last week, and they played in Tampa Bay, and guess what? They lost. So, if y'all play away, I can't pick you. If you play at home, I'll pick you.
The only time I might go against that, well, I know I will go against that, is Christmas Eve. I'm going to pick the Seahawks because I have to pick the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So,
Tyler, what are your thoughts on this game?
I think we can win. Maybe. It's going to be a struggle, but I'm just at that point in the season. So
you're just you've accepted what this season is going to become for you guys.
I wouldn't be mad if we drafted linemen with every pick.
You don't need to because you need to get about 16 extra linemen in your team. Of your 53-man roster, I think about 25 of them need to be linemen at this point because you just lose one every fucking quarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We need to trade Treylon Burks because he can't stay healthy to save his life, so he needs to either not be on the team.
I saw something this morning saying that he might be out for the rest of the season with a concussion.
He needs to just go. We either need to cut him or just trade him. He cannot stay healthy. It was such a bad pick.
I mean, I think you at least try and trade him after this season is over to get like a 6th or a 7th round pick for him, so you don't let him go and get nothing for it.
I don't think anybody's gonna want him. That's the only problem.
I mean, it's worth trying, you know. Yeah, we can move on to the next one, which is the Chargers at the Packers.
Forgot I picked the Packers.
I'd say we have the top pack versus the bottom pack right now on our standings.
Yep. Tyler and Matthew went with the Packers, and everybody else went with the Chargers. I just don't know what the fuck the Packers are doing this year. They look really good sometimes, but when they don't, they look really bad.
I'm a believer.
I mean,
go Pack, go.
I think besides Matthew, you are definitely the person who's picked the Packers the most this year. So
I mean, it's worked out for me sometimes.
I mean,
they've only won like what 3-4 games.
Yeah, as I say, that it's worked out for you at most 3 times. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think the Packers are gonna be able to stop the Chargers from scoring. They have
the Chargers' offense is
one of the best in the league.
But what's the weather gonna be in Green Bay?
Yeah, honestly, that is more of a factor because it's LA versus Green Bay.
Yes, this one makes a lot more sense than the Broncos-Bills game did to talk about weather. I don't know what the weather is supposed to be like. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty cold because down here in the good old state of Alabama, it's supposed to be in the 30s tonight, which is the day before the game. So it's probably going to be really cold.
Sunday, it's upper 40s, 30s. Not bad.
It's cold for LA residents, but
it's going to be like 47 degrees as a high, 31 as a low tomorrow.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't think weather will be a big factor for that.
No snow or anything. Nope, it's not even a cloudy day.
Because even if it was like snowing, the Chargers have an amazing run game on offense with Austin Eckler. So, I mean, it wouldn't make a difference in this game to me.
No.
The next game we have is another sweep. The Cardinals at the Texans. Everybody went with the Texans on this one. The Cardinals do have Kyler Murray back, and he looked pretty good last week in his first game since his ACL tear last year.
I was a believer.
I
did pick him, and it worked out for him. So
I do like we have that one, rare occurrence again where we have the game pictured in this picture is a Cardinals versus Texans game.
Oh yeah, it is. How about that?
Yep. It only happens every now and then because it's obviously they're not in the same division, so
yeah, that's quite a coincidence. And the Texans are winning 17-7.
Well, there you go. Maybe it's the future.
Maybe. I'm about to sneeze, maybe. We'll find out in a second. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But like we said, CJ Stroud is just on a different level right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely. I think at this point he's like a top half dozen quarterback in the league.
Oh, easily, yeah.
I mean,
I can't wait for the Cardinals to win this game.
Now that Joe Burrow is down.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans could be in the running to win their division. If the Jaguars lose a couple more games and the Texans win, I mean, they're only one game back of the Jaguars already, as it is. So,
when was the last time the Texans actually even won the AFC South?
Have they ever?
It was, I think, when Josh Allen was a rookie.
It's just been a handful of years.
All right.
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
The Titans aren't going to win it, so, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to the Texans winning it at this point. For the most part, I want my friends' teams to do well, but since y'all are not winning your division, I will say I'll go for the Texans this year to win your division. But yeah, the Cardinals, I don't see them winning this.
They're not as bad, I think, as everybody thought they were going to be this year still, but they're just not good.
Yeah. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. I'm not really sure why they're trying to win games right now, because they're not making the playoffs, and they're just ruining their chance to get a good draft pick. So,
yeah.
But, I'm not a coach or an owner or a GM, so I don't get to make those decisions.
Looks like you got a little visitor there, Jason.
Hello. The next game on our list is another sweep with the Cowboys and the Panthers.
What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
I mean, I get it.
Is that an inside like Bama joke or something?
No, it's
That's a Spider-Man 1 reference.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this game it's probably not going to be close from the start. The Cowboys defense is going to eat Bryce Young alive.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Panthers are going to win this.
Switch, Tyler. Come on. Your chance.
I mean, you could.
I'm good.
If you switch, we'll put you right inside the Panthers' mouth.
Yeah, the Cowboys defense is going to have a field day against Bryce Young. He's proven himself to not be a great quarterback this year, at least. I mean, obviously,
with that offensive line, it's hard to do anything. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say he gets a free pass this year because he's a rookie. But if he has the same issue next year, there's a bigger problem looming. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this game. So, next up is the worst game of the week, which is the Giants at the Commanders.
Tommy DeVito.
This is easily the worst game of the week to me. Both these teams are just not good. Obviously, the Giants are with their third-string quarterback. They've had 100 people get hurt at this point, it seems like.
Is there a reason why they don't sign a quarterback besides Tommy DeVito?
Probably because they don't have enough cap space from paying Daniel Jones. I mean, that's probably the answer if you're really wanting one.
It's crazy we have a fucking Commanders clean sweep. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for this game, but it just shows you how bad the Giants are.
Yeah, no,
Brian doesn't believe in the commies.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Ever.
I said it a couple weeks ago. I don't think I'll pick the Giants again this year, period. Unless maybe they're playing like the Patriots, then maybe I'll pick them. But even then, I probably won't.
Yeah.
Which they do play the Patriots, I think, either next week or in 2 weeks. So we'll see who.
Well, you might
who
put
picks,
the Giants in.
We'll see who picks who in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Commanders are going to win this game. The
Mhm.
Giants can't score any points. So.
I just need Saquon Barkley to get points.
Well, he might.
Same, buddy. I got him in one of my leagues. I don't know if I'm starting him.
Our next game, another sweep. The Buccaneers at the 49ers. The 49ers.
Oh, it's the picture of our food from the pirate show.
Oh yeah, it is. I didn't even
from
realize
Gatlinburg.
that.
Yeah. So a little background. That photo. A few of us went to Gatlinburg for a week, and we went to this pirate dinner show and theater thing, and that's a picture of Steven's plate from that fucking show. Maybe it's not Steven's plate. It might be somebody else's plate. That's just a picture of the plate from that show. So
I looked through the slideshow after he sent it to me, and I was like, okay, that's random to just have a plate of food for the Buccaneers getting swept. That makes so much more sense now.
Yep, it's the pirate show in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah. Yeah, the 49ers went back to their dominant ways last week, like we were talking about against the Jaguars. They just looked incredible. The one big thing to come out of that game was that Christian McCaffrey did not score a touchdown, which broke his streak of like 17 or 18 games in a row of scoring a touchdown, which was a NFL record.
Yeah.
And it was funny because it came off of it came the day after Steven picked him for MVP in our midseason awards and said he did it because of that streak.
And then the streak got broken. Steven 100% cursed him.
Yeah, 100%.
I will say there's also, I think we talked about it, I don't know if it was on the podcast, so we talked about it recently, how 49ers have the biggest home field advantage out of any team, like because they have the most people that show up to their games, and like they have full capacity crowds, something like that. They have like, maybe it wasn't most home team advantage. It was just like their crowds are filled up the most.
Yeah.
Every game.
Yeah, that's what it was. We've talked about it 100 times. I feel like that the Buccaneers looked really good to start the season, and just as it's gone along, they've looked worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then
also, shout out to that fucking soup right there. That's the best goddamn soup you'll ever eat in your life.
It's so good.
It's so good. Go to the pirate show in Pigeon Forge and get that soup.
It's very good.
Delicious.
Tyler, you got anything on this game?
Nah, not a thing.
I didn't figure you did. It's a very easy game to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next game, though, is the Jets at the Bills, and it's a 3-3 split. Gavin, Matthew, and Tyler went with the Jets. Steven, myself, and Ryan went with the Bills.
Bills just are not a good football team.
Tyler, once again, just reiterate this every week, is a confirmed Bills hater. So
Josh Allen hater.
Which is blossom into being a Bills hater.
I mean, the match, it's real.
Now, I'm not surprised that it's not a sweep to the Bills, but I am surprised that it's a 3-3 split. I thought maybe it'd be 4-2. Because the Bills do not look good. The Jets defense is very good most of the time, but I think the Bills are just going to wind up scoring more points because the Jets offense does not move the ball.
That's true, but you also have to think that Josh Allen's going to turn the ball over roughly 3 times.
And then the fucking Jets won't do anything with it.
Yep. We saw that happen on Monday night with the Broncos getting 4 turnovers and got 6 points off of those turnovers. So, the Bills' defense can keep them in the game if the turnovers happen, but the Jets already beat them this year on a punt return as time expired. So, who knows? It's the NFL any given Sunday. But the Bills have home field advantage for this game. They didn't have that when they played earlier in the season, obviously. So, give me the Bills to not lose 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
But I could see Tyler being right on this one. And Gavin and Matthew.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Looking at their schedule, there might be only like 1 game left that I picked them in, and that's when they play the Patriots.
Well,
I mean, once again, it's like saying you're only going to pick the Titans.
But being honest, if you look at their back half schedule, there really is only one game that they can win besides this one.
Let's see what their back half schedule
You're also
They
assuming
play the Chiefs, they play the Eagles, they play the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean those
they
3
play
games. They're probably
really good football teams.
Yeah, their schedule does not, favor them right now. But you're also just going ahead and assuming that they're not going to figure things out.
Yeah, but I think the Bills always kind of figure things out. It's just what they do. They go down a few weeks, and then they fucking come back with a vengeance, and they do really well for the next few weeks.
Now, if they lose this game, they're not making the playoffs. Just hands down. If they win this game, they still have a chance. I really don't think that they have a high chance to make the playoffs, though, because the Dolphins are going to win their division, I think, at this point. And the way that the standings are shaping up, you have to be like 1 game behind your division winner if you want to make the playoffs this year. So
I think the Bills can beat the Giants or the Dolphins again. I mean, the Bills beat the fucking Dolphins 48-20 in their first matchup. So I think they can win that game again, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen.
And I think they can beat the Chargers too. I think they have at least 3 more game wins in them. Yeah, Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys. That's gonna be a fucking rough ass stretch. But yeah, I think the ending stretch of Chargers.
Even if they win 3 more games, they're only gonna be 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
Well, yeah, so I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they have more than just 1 win left in them.
I think that they can, in that 3-game stretch of the Eagles, Cowboys, and Chiefs, I think they can manage to pull one of those games out potentially. But they're going to have to play a perfect football game, and we haven't seen that from the Bills yet this year. So, except against the Dolphins, I think. But yeah,
it might be a beneficial thing with the Bills. The other Eagles and Chiefs are away, but they play the Cowboys at home mid-December, and it's Dallas players going up to Buffalo in the. Once again, I know the whole temperature thing, but middle of December Buffalo is like crazy. I should be crazy versus Dallas.
No, I'll apologize for me getting aggravated last week because you were talking about my team, so I got a little more heated than I should have. But like when you're talking about like LA or Dallas or like Miami, it makes a lot of sense to talk about weather because they aren't used to playing in really cold temperatures for the most part. But yeah, we spent way longer on this game than I thought we were going to.
I think it's one of the bigger toss-ups this week, honestly, is this game.
No, I think it is too.
Like, I'm not going to be surprised if the Jets win, but I just think the Bills can pull it out.
I wouldn't either. But the next game is the Seahawks at the Rams, and it's a 4-2 split. Steven and Gavin picked the Rams to upset the Seahawks.
I don't think it's an upset if they beat us. They beat us already this year when it was in Seattle. So, like, I've said this before. I'll say this again. I fucking say this till I'm blue in the face. Rams have always been and always will be the Seahawks' kryptonite. Doesn't matter how good the Rams are or how good the Seahawks are. The Rams are our kryptonite.
Yeah, so, but I mean,
if I didn't commit to already picking my team for every game, I honestly probably would pick the Rams in this game.
I think y'all will split the series with them this year.
So we have the potential to be a fucking amazing team. It's just a big part of it's honestly what Geno shows up that day.
Yeah, if turnover Geno shows up, then yeah, I mean I could see the Rams easily winning this game. But if the
well, I guess Matthew Stafford's out still, right?
I think he's
I think he's playing.
He's supposed to play.
God damn it! Why couldn't he be out for our game? Well, yeah. So, but they do have the A-Chain is out. Or not A-Chain. What's his face? Kyron Williams is out.
Yeah.
Still, so they do have they don't have him at least, which they had earlier in the season when they beat us.
Also, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua have not looked very good for the past few weeks. I know they haven't had Stafford for a couple games, but even towards the end of before Stafford got hurt, they really weren't looking great. And with y'all's secondary, I think y'all can slow them down even more. So I feel comfortable picking the Seahawks.
I think it's going to be a good game.
I don't feel comfortable that Matthew also picked them, but, you know.
Yeah. So did Tyler.
Matthew can be right.
It's true. So,
But you know that Matthew really does think the Seahawks are going to win if he picks the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Because Matthew fucking hates the Seahawks.
Yep. Yeah, the Rams just they're not very good this year. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I would say I'm not be surprised though. Another one where I'm not be surprised if we lose. So,
well, hopefully y'all win that game. I'm pulling for you.
well, thanks. I'm pulling for us too.
And then the next game is Sunday Night Football. We have the Vikings at the Broncos.
Broncos country. That's right.
It's a 3-3 split. Steve
This
and
is
Matthew,
like the first time I picked the Broncos in forever, dude.
Yeah, Steve, Matthew, and Gavin picked the Vikings. They're riding with the Pastronaut with Josh Dobbs. And then myself, Ryan, and Tyler have picked the Broncos. This is the first time in a long time that it hasn't been just me or just me and Tyler picking the Broncos.
Yeah, I think this is probably my game of the week this week. I mean, obviously, CF Rams is the one I'm looking forward to the most. But like, I think because we got fucking Pasternak on a hot streak, and you got the Broncos on finally a hot streak. Like Sean McVay's finally fucking turned shit around. Not Sean McVay, Sean Payton.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever. The other Sean. Sean Payton is finally seems to be hitting a rhythm, and the Broncos are on a hot streak, and it's in Denver, so that's why I'm like picking the Broncos. But yeah, you said yourself earlier, right, Jason? This is the two teams in the NFL who have the longest win streaks right now.
Yeah, the Vikings are on a 5-game win streak. The Broncos are on a 3-game win streak, and then tied with the Broncos is the Eagles on a 3-game win streak. Everybody else is 2 or less, so. It is two of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. They're both on good win streaks. They both looked a lot better than they did at the beginning of the season. I am a little worried about this game because of how versatile Josh Dobbs could be when he runs the ball. So if we're running like a spy on Dobbs the whole game, we could win. Is this the Vikings versus Broncos down there? Is that white shirts and purple pants?
It might be. It could be.
I can't tell.
If we move that if we move the Sunday Night Football thing, we can see the scoreboard, which would be more helpful. But
I'll look at it after.
It's I don't know. Could be.
But that's not important.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little worried about it, but I'm confident after we've beat the Chiefs and the Bills in back-to-back games. And we beat the Bills in Buffalo, which was really big for us. The offense has to figure things out. We should have beat the Bills by 2 touchdowns or so with the turnovers that happened, but we beat them by 2 points.
Yeah, it's kind of like I remember earlier in the season, Jason, when y'all were doing y'all's poo era. That you said like that one of the games was the movable objects meets the stoppable force or some shit.
Yeah,
it was one of the games. I think this is the complete opposite game where it's fucking Vikings being the unstoppable force and then the Broncos being the movable objects. Y'all's defense has been really fucking good. The Vikings offense has been fucking amazing. So
yeah, actually the Vikings defense has been really good too.
Oh really?
I saw a stat. I think it might have been this morning, saying they have like one of the best, they're like ranked top 3 in certain like 3 major categories on defense in the last 5 weeks. So it's going to be 2 really good defenses going against each other, and then a really good offense, and an offense that has the potential to be really good if they want to. So this game could either be like a 34-31 game, or it could be a 14-10 game, depending on what teams decide to show up.
This week might be one of our weeks we have the most 3-3 splits, if not the most 3-3 splits.
Yeah, where there's a lot of 3-3 splits. Yeah, Tyler, you got anything?
Just Broncos country, let's ride.
All right, I like
let's
it.
ride. Dangerous.
I like
I'm gonna go get that Dangerous sub at Subway before this game just to cheer on the Broncos.
I don't think they sell those anymore, buddy.
I'm gonna make them make me one.
Just figure out what was on it and just get us a sandwich that's just like it.
Yeah.
The Monday night game is a Super Bowl rematch from last year. The Eagles at the Chiefs. It's a 4-2 split. Matthew and I went with the Chiefs, which makes me really nervous because Matthew's been on a bad streak recently. Everybody else went with the Eagles.
Eagles revenge game.
My reasoning for picking the Chiefs is they're playing in Kansas City, and I'm still not fully convinced that the Eagles are actually as good as their record shows.
Just wait till Jason Kelsey gets that touchdown.
Well, I mean, you already forgot an important factor. Taylor Swift is on her Eras tour right now again, so she's not going to have time to go to the Chiefs game, so she won't be there, so the Chiefs will lose.
I mean, I'm pulling for the Eagles, obviously. Everybody knows I hate the Chiefs with everything in me. But I don't know. I have a feeling that the Chiefs are going to wind up winning this game. Just somehow. Patrick Mahomes is going to have a crazy play or something at the end of the game. And I mean, this game has the potential to be the best game of the year if both of the teams show up at full force. They're both coming off of a bye, which is huge. And one other thing to remember is the game 2 weeks ago with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts hurt his knee. So if he's not at 100% and he goes down and he gets hurt, the Eagles are going to have to go to their backup. I don't remember who it is, though.
What do y'all think the over-under is on how many times they show Mama Kelsey on the screen during this game?
I'd say 3.5.
I'd say like fucking 10 at least.
Yeah.
No, they don't really show her that much.
Bet they do.
Well, maybe I haven't noticed. It doesn't bother me seeing her as much as it does seeing.
Oh yeah, it doesn't bother me. I'm just saying it's like they have to have their storyline. It's like, oh, the Kelsey brothers, they're a hot ticket.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
I forgot that it's a Kelsey brother matchup.
Yeah.
Then I would say about 10 actually. I forgot
Exactly. Yeah, about to say it's a Kelsey matchup.
I mean, Mama Kelsey does have that cool jersey.
Yeah. I mean, I love Mama Kelsey. Nothing against her. It's just they're gonna fucking show her a lot because it's ESPN.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this game could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles managed to pull it out. But
you guys think Mahomes is gonna wear his lucky underwear?
I mean, he wears it every time. So I'm just.
I don't really believe that story.
Well, I mean, more power to you, I guess. I don't really know what to say to that.
But I mean, it's just I feel like people say that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe he does just not wash his underwear and he wears the same ones every week. Everybody has their thing that they do. Like mine right now, the Broncos have won every game when I wear my Broncos jersey. If I don't wear it, they lose. That they are literally 4-0 when I wear the jersey. And 0-5.
I guess you're wearing the jersey tomorrow night, probably.
Yes. And they're 0-5 when I don't wear it. So, is it coincidence? Yes. Is it? Is it? My superstition acting up? Also, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Ryan with him buying his Kenneth Walker jersey, and then he did bad, and he thought it was you thought it was your fault.
We're good now. He had a great week last week, so we're good.
Normally, I would say we've got one more game left, but that's not true. We have 4 more games left. We have
Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody.
Yep.
Woo woo.
Oh.
Our next game, Thanksgiving Day, kicks off with the Packers at the Lions.
Return of the Pilgrim hat.
Matthew goes by himself with the Packers.
Mm-hmm. He can stay over there.
Yeah, I'm not switching my pick. I don't think the Packers will be able to slow them down. I mean,
I don't think there's not much to talk. We've already talked about both of the points of this game where the Packers are just, what are they? And the Lions are fucking hot as fuck right now. So
yeah, I mean, and it's
because of the sun god.
Amon Ra, my boy, have him in every single fantasy league.
It's I mean,
will Detroit finally win a game on Thanksgiving?
I think so. That's why I picked them.
They're knocking on wood right now, Jason.
Not. Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's not much to say about this. We touched on both points with these teams. So our next one is even better.
Thanksgiving games are so awful.
The Commanders at the Cowboys.
I like how this Thanksgiving decoration is just the Commanders, but it's the Thanksgiving version.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say about this game either. The Cowboys are gonna probably wipe the floor with the Commanders. I mean,
or the Commanders are gonna win.
I mean, one of those two things will probably happen. Yes, the Cowboys are gonna win, or the Commanders are gonna win. Are very likely
no ties,
things to happen.
Now we're gonna see 3 ties on Thanksgiving. I'm calling it now.
That would be insane. I'm here for it though. Do it, everybody. Do it.
Yeah, football teams listening, do it.
Yeah. And then the last game on Thanksgiving, they definitely saved the best game for last, which is the 49ers at the Seahawks.
Dabbing turkey.
Steven also seems to think that this is the best game for Thanksgiving with his clip art.
Yeah.
Ryan and Tyler went on their own with the Seahawks on this game.
Yeah, Tyler.
Seahawks country.
Let's ride. Let's flap.
Now, I've been saving this point that I've had in my head since the beginning of this episode because I saw something about it this morning. Ryan, you might want to lose this game because every team that has beaten the 49ers this year has lost their starting quarterback.
I mean, I love Gino.
It's the Kirk Cousins curse.
Except it's just the 49ers at this point. Because
I'd rather win. I mean, not that I don't want Gino to go away, but if Gino goes down with an injury, it's Drew Lock, who isn't that much worse than Gino.
Well, I mean, I beg to differ. I watched him play. He's not that good.
I mean, okay, yeah. But I mean, every time he's been in for the Seahawks, he's done pretty decently.
Does he have a new nickname since he's on Seattle now?
Yeah, now it's Hawk Cock Lock.
Okay.
I just made that up on the spot, so yeah.
Well, that's better. That's better than it being the horse cock lock that it was.
Yeah. Now it's Hawk Cock. It's really hard to say. Hawk Cock Lock.
Should get that on a jersey.
Yeah,
or it could be Lock the Hawk. That makes more sense. That's more wholesome. Lock the Hawk, but you know.
Yeah, that's what you could call him if he actually starts games and wins for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm worried about this game. This is our first time facing the 49ers this year, and then we play them again literally 2 weeks after this.
Yeah.
We do this, and then we also have.
I love that NFL scheduling.
About to say, you thought the fucking Bills schedule was bad after this week. Our schedule started on Thanksgiving. It's 49ers, then Cowboys, then 49ers, and then Eagles.
Almost the same as the Bills.
Yep. But then we play we end the season with Titans, Steelers, Cardinals. So, but we're playing the Titans at home, so.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
I mean, also, you got to think about the time delay. There's the time change, all that stuff. There's a lot to factor in those games.
Oh, my God. I mean, you say that, but it wouldn't actually factor because even if the fucking Seahawks play noon games in Seattle, it's still not noon games for them. It's 10 a.m. games.
Yeah. But, they never have a noon game in Seattle.
No, it's always...
Yeah, so...
Let's see. Actually, do we have a single one this year that's a noon game in Seattle?
No, I can tell you. Because not even the Broncos have a noon game in Denver.
That makes sense. Yeah,
they're all 3 or 3:30. Or
we have time. Yeah, we have the 49ers this week, and then the next week we're playing 2 Thursdays in a row, actually. It's kind of nice.
Yeah,
we're the Thursday game after this game as well.
You'll for sure get to watch your team play without having to find it.
Yep, I'll get to watch them play the 49ers and then the Cowboys.
Hey, like you said before, the Cardinals beat the Cowboys, so you have a chance. So
yeah,
we've got one more game, and it's our Black Friday game.
Is this a new thing, the Black Friday game?
Yeah,
or is that... Okay.
It's the first time ever having a game on Black Friday. It's the Dolphins at the Jets.
Not sponsored by Walmart.
Not sponsored by Walmart. It's a clean sweep to the Dolphins. The same thing applies to what I said earlier. The Jets can't move the ball. The Dolphins' offense is pretty good, I would say, between having Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Devon A-Chain and Raheem Mostert. I mean, do I need to keep going? They have so many weapons on offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Jets are currently a below 500 team. So
also that too.
If they beat the Bills, though, they're a 500 team.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about that game. I won't be able to watch it. I'll be at work, unfortunately. But
the AFC East currently are all on a loss streak.
Yep. Yep. It's
Yep.
Yeah, they there were two teams in that division who were really, really good, and then it's turned into a team that's good, a team that might be good, might be bad, and then two bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it for this week. For our picks, at least. I'm not too worried about my picks. I feel confident in my picks.
Yeah,
this
I
week.
think we might. I mean, we always say we might see a huge shift in picks this week, but we always say that, and then I feel like it doesn't matter if we all pick so differently all the time. That in the end, like we're gonna get half them right, half them not right, or so the ones we went all different on.
Or
And so we all ended up being like we did this past week, where we all were like 2 games away from each other.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we'll have another bad week.
we might. There are a lot of sweeps, so if the sweeps go the wrong way, then we could have a very, very bad week. So,
We also only had only have 2 potentials for a you were right, we were wrong situation, and both of them being Matthew.
Yep.
Because it was him picking the Packers on Thanksgiving, and then him picking the fucking Raiders against the Dolphins.
We got 1 sweep, 2 sweeps, 3 sweeps, 4 sweeps,
Amber.
5 sweeps, 6 sweeps, 7 sweeps this week.
Sweeps week.
That's a lot. I would say that's easily the most we've had in a single week.
I don't know. There was one week where we had like every fucking game being a sweep.
I don't know if it was 7 though. It might have been. I mean, there was definitely a handful.
I think the one that we did all really bad on. I don't remember how many. We can figure it out later. I have off the podcast.
Yeah. Ryan, you want to take us out?
Yeah. So this has been a thankful episode of Always Out of Market. In the comments, write down what you're thankful for. Is it Jason's ability to do a backflip? Is it Tyler's ability to sing like a songbird? Is it my ability to do complicated mathematical equations? You let us know and
Vote now.
Vote now, and we'll announce the winner in 4 weeks. Yes. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Follow us on social media. I think we have a Twitter account. We've got YouTube. Subscribe if you want. If you don't, that's okay too. But we'd like to see you around. Grow our little family. And yeah, everybody, hands in. We can't see Tyler's hand, but I'm assuming your hand is in, right, Tyler?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Football on 3. 1, 2, 3. Football. See ya.